Does everyone see the PowerPoint presentation or not? Yes, Jahan said yes. Everyone? So Rehab and Wadia just joined the meeting. Can you see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
That's the revision right now. Okay, one thing. Okay, I'm sharing the PowerPoint presentation, so I will be in the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, if anyone has a question or something want to tell or ask, okay, just open the mic. Tell me I have a question, so I can enter the meeting again. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We'll start with Unit 1. And first of all, we will start with adverbs of frequency. Okay, so what is an adverb of frequency? An adverb of frequency tells us how often something takes place. Okay, إن حدث كم مرة يصير. Okay, these are the most common adverbs of frequency: always, usually, normally, generally, often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, never. Okay, and حد يكون الحدث شنو يصير يقل أكثر. Okay, so the most important thing to know in this slide, what is adverbs of frequency and when do we use it? What is the use of adverbs of frequency? One, to tell us how thing takes place. Second, what is adverbs of frequency, which is these from always to never. Okay, and these are some examples of adverbs of frequency. Put it in the sentence, like I always wake up at 6 o'clock. Something I always do. Okay, I sometimes play tennis on the weekend. Okay, just like more 50%. Like sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. And I never listen to something I don't do at all. So there's another adverb of frequency called expressions. Okay, like every day, every week, every month, every year, once, twice, 3 times. Okay, this is more examples of adverbs of frequency. Okay, for example, here I eat vegetable every day, and twice a week. And in this slide, okay, what you should know is the position of adverbs of. Where do we put adverbs of frequency in the sentence? Okay, this is the most important of this rule. Okay, where do I put this adverb of frequency in a particular sentence? So look on the examples or the 3 sentences we have. So the British are always happy when they are socializing. So where is the adverbs of frequency? It's after the verb are. Okay, so the rules say adverbs of frequency, the position after the verb to be. Okay, after is, after are, after am. Okay, so this is the first position of adverbs of frequency. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm back again. So, first thing, the first position of adverbs of frequency that comes verb to be. Second position, okay, like in the example, British people usually go on holiday once a year. In this sentence, we have two adverbs of frequency. The first one, usually, and the second one is once a year. So, usually comes before the main verb, which is go. And once a year comes at the end of the sentence. The second and third rule said that the adverbs of frequency comes before other verbs, and the expressions usually go at the end of the sentence. Okay, and we have another example, like 30% normally do some grading every weekend. So normally comes before the main verb, and every weekend comes at the end of this. So this is the position of adverbs of frequency. Like frequency go after the verb to be. Okay, if there is a verb to be, is, am, or comes after it. And for the main verb, adverbs of frequency go before the main verb. And expressions of frequency usually go at the end of the sentence. So this is the first rule. Do you think about it? Do you want me to repeat something? Or shall I move to the next rule?
It's clear.
Dana, Iman, it's clear. And Selma, I think, can you see the PowerPoint presentation? Does it appear to you, the PowerPoint presentation? Dana, Iman, okay. So, everything clear, we move to the next rule, which is present simple. Okay, in this course, you will study several of the tenses, like present simple, present continuous, present perfect simple, past simple, and past continuous, and past perfect simple. So you will study 6 different tenses. Okay, the most important to know about each sentence is 2 things. The uses of each tense, okay, الاستخدامات حق كل زمن. The second one, the form of each tense, صيغ. أنا شلون أكتبها بأي صيغة؟ Okay. So for present simple, the form plus verb and without the subjects I, we. Okay, with the subject he, she, it. Okay. Here we have he likes tea. Okay. Present simple, we have 2 forms. And the verb is infinitive. And the second one, you don't add s with the verb. Okay. If you wrote she doesn't like, if we put does or doesn't. Okay. as well for the question. We'll move for and to when you describe it, okay, we use adverbs of frequency. That's why I give it to you, adverbs of frequency, the first rule, because one of the uses of present simple is using adverbs of frequency, like to talk about habits, okay? So, for example, I am Australian, okay? It's a fact, and this thing won't change, okay? Another example, he is clever, okay? We're describing someone, okay? And last one, you are nice. It's also describing. More examples for present simple and more uses, okay? As I said, to express general truth, habits, future, timetable, okay? Future, after, when, until, okay? Permanent situations for newspaper headlines with non-progressive, okay? This is more usage of present simple, okay? Just get through them, okay? But the most important one to know the uses about the present simple is the facts, the habits, and state verbs, okay? A timetable you have in your book, okay? And for permanent situations, okay? For the state of verbs in English, okay? First of all, you have to know what the difference between state of verbs and action verbs, okay? State of verbs is the verbs that we cannot see, we cannot like يعني الأفعال اللي احنا ما نقدر نجسدها ولا نقدر نشوفها ولا نقدر مثلا نتخيل حتى شكلها، يعني شكلها ما نعرفه، اوكي؟ يعني لما مثلا أقول فعل يقرأ، اوكي، اني أشوف الحدث، أشوف مثلا لما أقول فعل يركض، أني أشوف هاي الحركة أقدر أشوفها، لكن لما أقول شلون شكل اللوف ما نعرف، أوكي؟ لما أقول I wish، أوكي؟ شلون شكل الوش الأمنية؟ We cannot see، أوكي؟ This the state of verbs. أفعال إحنا ما نقدر لا نشوفها ولا نوصفها، يعني كحقيقة ما نقدر، أوكي؟ نقدر نحس فيها، أوكي؟ لكن ما نقدر إحنا نشوفها. So these are several state of verbs. Like you have emotions, we have sense, okay, and others. So get through these state of verbs. Okay, it's really this table is very helpful for you. So I have finished from present simple rule. Okay, is there any question about this rule, or shall I continue to the next one? Is there any question about present simple? It's all clear. Okay, that's good. So now we move to present continuous tense. So as well, first thing, okay, that we will know about tense is the form of this tense, okay? How do we form a sentence in the present continuous tense, okay? So we have three forms, okay? First of all, subject. I, we use it with am plus the verb ing. Second one, the subject she, he, it, use it with is, then the verb ing. And with the subject they, we, and you use it with are, then the verb ing. Okay, there's 3 different forms, okay? The verb always in the ing, but you have to know we use it with what, is we use it with what, and are we use it with what, okay? Again, for if we want to make it negative, we use not, okay? He isn't or is not playing. And we want to form a question, we just replace the subject and the helping verb. Okay, so is he playing? So this is the first thing. How do we form sentences using present continuous? Second thing, the usage of present continuous. When do we use present continuous and for what? So the first one describes something which is happening at the exact moment of a speech. Like now, I am speaking at this moment and you are listening to me at this moment. Is something happening of the speech, okay? Second one is describe an action that is taking place now, but not at the exact moment of a speech. Like, okay, right now, I'm not studying like English, but something in general happening, like for a couple of years, I'm studying English of it. Okay. Third, an event planned in the future, like I'm taking my French class on Tuesday. And it will be upcoming future, like not far away in the future, no, upcoming, very soon. 4, to describe a temporary situation, like I'm staying with a friend for a few days. Frequency of an action. Okay, that child is always crying for no good reason. Okay? This to emphasize the frequency of an action, like the child is always crying. Okay? Last one, to describe changing situations, okay? Like her health is improving by leaps and bounds. Okay? She got her feet. So this is the forms and usage of present continuous. So what is the difference between present simple tense and present continuous tense? For present simple, we use general truth, and for present action, continuous, actions happening now. For present simple, we have present habits, and for present continuous, we have annoying habits, like always. Okay, she is always singing in the is always crying. Okay. For present simple, we use it for timetable events, and for present continuous, we use it for future arrangement. And for present simple, we have like permanent situations, okay, something like always, da'im, okay. And for present continuous, we use it for temporary situations. So we finished the present continuous. Is there any question about it? Okay, good. I am going too fast or it's okay. هل شرحي قاعد يصير سريع ولا في الحد الأوكي يعني؟ Okay then. So now we'll move to the verb patterns. So verb patterns, verb with ing and to plus infinitive. So verb patterns, okay, between gerund and infinitive. When do we use gerund infinitive? Okay. First of all, use prepositions are حروف like before, that, after, and. So these are examples of prepositions. After preposition, we have to form the verb in the gerund with ing. So for writing here, I spoke bad English. Okay. Preposition, we have verb plus ing. After working in Apple, she traveled around the world. Okay, so gerund, we use it after preposition. The second one, after phrasal verb, like I took up dancing last night. Carry on working. I give up smoking. Okay, don't put off studying. Do it now. Okay, so after phrasal verbs, okay, شنو verbs يعني recordings? Phrasal verbs is a verb plus a preposition, okay? A verb plus a preposition that when we join them together, they give us a different meaning than everyone stands alone, okay? So after phrasal verbs, we have to form the verb with the gerund, okay? Last use of the gerund with some expressions like looking to learn from you. Okay, I'm looking forward. The after this expressions, we have to form the verb in the gerund. There's no point in going now. No point in. Okay, after it, the gerund. He's very good at swimming. So, also the first one, specific list of verbs like avoid, finish, enjoy. And after these specific verbs, we always have to put the verb in the gerund, okay? And I will give you the list of the verbs that comes after it, like gerund, and list that comes after it, to plus infinitive. So for the verb plus infinitive, do we use it? First one, specific list of verbs like decide, expect, want, okay? And I will give you a list so you can memorize, and you have to memorize so you can choose in the test which verb pattern that suits like a particular sentence, okay? The second use after adjectives, okay? بعد الصفات, okay? لازم نحط to plus infinitive. I am happy to help you if you want. She was too angry to talk to him. It's easy to learn English in Ireland, okay? So after adjectives, we have to form the verb in the infinitive, to plus infinitive. Second, after verb plus an object, okay? How? Like Kirk, English teacher, told me to study more, okay? So we have told is the verb, me is an object, then we have another verb, okay, to study more. I want you, subject, verb, object, then we have another verb to tell me what happened. Can you remind me to call Jack later? We have can is the verb, okay, you is the subject, can is the modal verb. you is the subject, remind is verb, me is an object, then to call is another verb, and we have to form it in the infinitive. Last use of verb for verb plus infinitive, after make and let without to. Okay. Oh wait, like he made me clean my room. Please let me go to the party tonight. Okay, after let and make, but it should be without to, not to let, to made. Okay, because if it's to made, we cannot put sorry, but okay, we do not add to with make and let. Okay, it's infinitive without to. So he made me. We cannot add to clean or to go to the party tonight. Okay, so this one included after the verbs plus infinitive without to. Okay, so here we have the list. Okay, that after these verbs we have the, and after the verb, the one in the bottoms, after the verbs we have to plus infinitive. Okay, you have to memorize these lists. Okay, لازم تحفظون هاي الأفعال. لا أنا ما أقدر أحفظكم إياها، يعني هاي الشيء لازم تكونون حافظينه. And trust me when I have to. ليش؟ لأن المقررات الجاية من هالمقرر. أوكي، من لا، هو من مقرر 111 لسه. أوكي، من مقرر 111 ل 203 إلى 205 ل 305 وإلى 405. هاي الليستة بتكون موجودة بلس كل مرة بتضيف عليها أفعال جديدة. أوكي، فلازم تحفظونها من الحين. هاي أفعال بعدها بيكون gerund، هاي أفعال بعدها بتجي to plus infinitive. أوكي، أكثر شيء هاي تنجاب يا في ال multiple choice questions أو تكون في ال هو correct the mistake. أوكي، مثلا يحطون admit مثلا to steal، مثلا avoid to walk، فصححوا هاي الغلط. فأنتون إذا ما تعرفون مثلا هاي الفعل يجي بعدها gerund بتحسون إنه يمكن صح، فلازم هاي الأفعال تحفظونها. أوكي، هاي بعد الليست نفس الشيء، يمكن فيها بعد كم فعل أزيد. So you can memorize these. Okay, here we have when do we use like the infinitive without to. Okay, look into the third column. Okay, اللي هو الصفحة الثالثة. We use infinitive without to with modal verbs. Okay, must, might, will, should, can. Okay, something that I always said, after modals, okay, the verb should be in infinitive. Okay, I مثلا must study. Okay, I cannot say I must to study. I will study. I cannot say I will to study. Okay, it's wrong. So after modals, we have to put the verb in the infinitive without to. Okay. Use of verb without to after let and make, as I said before. Okay. Well, I cannot say let me to study. No, let me study. So these are the uses of the infinitive without to. So we took three different patterns of verb, which is the gerund, infinitive with to, and infinitive without to. Okay, of verbs that for the ing, these words come after it, the gerund. And this list comes after it is to plus infinitive. So is this rule clear or not? I know it just like a little bit like thick, okay, or you have to memorize, okay, like understanding it alone won't be that much useful, okay? You have to memorize the verbs, okay? You have to know what is a preposition, okay? You have to know what's adjectives, okay? So you can like be full aware of this rule, okay? So is there any question about verb patterns? Sindis and Iman, you have just joined the meeting. Can you see the PowerPoint presentation? And is there any questions about verb patterns, or shall I continue to the next rule? Okay, everything is clear. So in this case, we have finished the Unit 1 grammar, and we will start with Unit 2. So the first rule of Unit 2 grammar is the present perfect simple. So again, two things that we should know about present perfect tense. Okay, the first one is the form. How do we form sentences present perfect simple? And the uses of present perfect simple. So the form of present perfect simple is we have the subject she, he, it, plus has, plus past participle. Okay, so with has, the subject is she, he, it. And with have, they, you, I, and we. Okay, plus the verb in the past participle. بس له تصريف الثالث للفعل. اوكي، الخانة الثالثة للأفعال. عندكم في الكتاب الصفحة الأخيرة في الكتاب موجودة لستة أفعال اللي هو irregular verbs. Okay, just get a look on this page and it will be very useful for you. Second, make the sentence negative. Just we add not. And we want to form a question, we just replace has or have with the subject. Okay? Okay. So next we move to the uses of the present perfect tense. First of all, to have done like how many times have you called her? Or I have watched already. So to express number of times, to start written completed actions which are important now. Okay. Actions. Okay. Okay, the most important is express are still okay. Like 5 years started in the past and on in case like I have known for 4 to 5 years, so he's still known James. Describe unfinished activity, something that yet. So I have read half of the book. And number 6, express present result. So like John has missed the bus, so he will be late. Okay, so result has missed the bus. So as a result, he will be late. Again, different explanation of present perfect. Okay, to talk about a state that started in the past and continues until now. Okay, like I haven't seen Steve since last week. I have been an engineer since 2005, and I have lived in England for 5 years. And I want you just like to focus on since and for. What's between since and for? Okay, and I'll explain it in the next slide. Another use is up to now or so far. Like up to now, I have completed 5 reports. To say that something, like the uses to say that something has happened several times. Okay, so as examples, up to now, I have completed 5 reports. Second example, so far, this morning, I have made 3 phone calls. Another example, I have been to France twice so far this year. Okay, to say that something has happened several times. Another uses of present perfect with already, just, and recently. And to talk about recent past events, like she has recently changed jobs. I have just lunch, I'm not hungry. I have already read that book. Okay, so with already, just, and recently, we use a present perfect. And we use it also with yet, ever, and never. Okay, to talk about life experience, like I have never been to Spain and I haven't seen the movie yet, and the party was the worst I have ever been to. Okay, so we use present perfect for and since, for up to now, so far, with already, just, recently, and with yet, ever, and never. So the using for and since in present perfect. Okay, we use for to talk about a length of time, a period of time, and since to talk about a point in the past, a specific point in time. Okay, let's see some examples. I have worked here for 8 years. So from 8 years back till now, I am working here. Okay, and I'm still working. Okay, another example, you have played football for 10 years. Okay, from 10 years back till now, I am or he playing football. We have taught at this school for a long time. Okay, so this is examples for the for. Okay, and here we have example sentences for since. So he has lived here since 1993. So from 1993 till now, 2021, he lived here. Okay, They have been at the hotel since last week. So since last week until now, they are staying in this hotel. Okay? So, is everything clear with the present perfect simple? Is there any questions about the present perfect simple? Any question, or shall I continue to the next rule? Hello, can you hear me? Okay then. So next we have the past simple tense. Again, the form and the uses. Past simple tense is we have only one form, which is the subject, okay, plus the verb. The verb, either the regular verb or irregular verbs, okay? So with regular verbs, we just add ed, okay? And with the irregular verbs, the verb change, okay, التصريف الثاني الخانة الوسطية. So like is become was, are become were, okay? So one form, but a different, okay, is the verb itself. Either we add the verb or regular the verb changed, okay? And to make the sentence negative, we just add, okay, or did not. And for questions, we just add did plus the subject plus the rest of the sentence, or was or were plus the subject plus the rest of the sentence. Okay, so this is the form of the past simple tense. The uses of past simple tense is to express completed action in the past. Okay, something that has started and completed in the past. It's a finished action. So I saw a ghost last Friday. Second, describe a series of completed actions in the past. I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim. So it's a series of completed actions in the past. شي ورا شي، يعني شي بس اللي متعاقب، اوكي، ورا بعض. خلاص شغل، تمشيت يعني للبحر، شفت مكان حلو وأسبح فيه. رقم 3 to express habits in the past. اوكي، عادة كنت أسويها في الماضي. When I was young, I watched lots of televisions every day after school. Okay, I watched lots of television at school. It's a past habit. Okay. Number 4 for stative verbs. Okay, as I showed to you in the stative verbs, we can put it in the present and in the past. Okay, and the uses for stative verbs either in the present simple or in the past simple. Okay, like he had a small cottage in the woods. So, the difference between past simple and present simple. For past simple, okay, we have express finished time. For example, we lived in Japan from 1995 to 1998. But for the present perfect, describe unfinished time, okay? I have worked as a teacher since 2011. So from 2011 till now, he is a teacher. The second difference is to refer to definite time, okay? I saw the Eiffel Tower in 2007, okay? When do I see the Eiffel Tower? I have to refer to definite time in the past, okay? But for the present perfect, just I have seen the Eiffel Tower. The most important that I have seen it, okay? Number 3, to indicate series of finished actions, okay? شيء خلاص صار منتهي. Like first he read the book and then he watched the movie. Okay, the first thing he read the book and then watched the movie. And for present perfect, okay, express experience or a result. She has already watched this movie 3 times. Okay, I don't want to know about the details. I want to know the result. Okay, she has already watched this movie 3 times. So this is the difference between the past simple and the present perfect simple. Okay, is everything clear? Yes. Okay. Then we'll move to the used to. Okay. We use used to talk about the past. It's not a tense, but it is like a tense. It is a special structure used to is usually followed by an infinitive. So focus on followed by an infinitive. So for examples, look into the past and look into the now. Okay, he used to smoke in the past, but now he doesn't smoke. Okay. Another examples, look for Mary. Mary 5 years ago and Mary these days, okay? Like, I have got a rabbit. I am a okay? Mary 5. What about now, okay? Her rabbit, okay, died last year. Okay, so she don't have a rabbit anymore. Okay? So she was a sales girl in the past, but now she works as a teacher. She used to be a sales girl, but now she is a teacher. Okay. So for number 3, she used to have a rabbit, but it died last year. And number 4, she used to be a sales girl, but she is teacher now. Okay. This is the used to rule. So what is the difference between used to and past simple? For used to, for actions in the past that do not in the present, okay? أشياء صارت لنا في الماضي بس الحين خلاص. Used to take train to college every day. لما كانت في الجامعة كانت متعودة إن هي تاخذ اللي هو يعني تركب القطار. Like, but for the past simple, for single past actions and events. Okay, like modern Homo spends originated in Africa around 200,000 years ago. This is the difference between used to and past simple. Past simple, something happened in the past. Okay, single past action. شيء واحد أتكلم عنه، أو مثلا شيء متعاقب but in the past. Okay, used to something that I was doing like many times in the past. Okay, but now I stop do it. Number 2, for past actions that are no longer true. So my brother used to be a teacher, but now he works in an office. So in the past, yes, he was a teacher, but now he's not a teacher. So it's no longer true. For past simple, for longer past actions or events. Jim studied German and politics for 5 years, okay? And the last one, with adverbs of frequency, always, regularly, once a week, never, okay? We use it for the used to. Like, I always used to go to the gym on Saturdays. And for past simple, with the following words like yesterday, last year, this evening, last month, okay? We use it for the past simple. And number 4, for repeated actions or events, okay? Like Anne played tennis twice when we went on holidays. So this is the difference between used to and past simple. Okay, used to عادات احنا كنا نسويها قبل. اوكي الحين ما نسويها، او ان الحين هي مو صحيحة، او ان كنا نسويها يعني باستمرار، يعني فيها adverbs of frequency، عادات شيء روتين كان بالنسبة إلينا. So then we have would. But first of all, what's the difference between used to and would? So we use both of these to talk about things in the past which we don't do now or not happening now. Sometimes both used to and would are okay, but sometimes only used to. Like some examples of used to, like again, I used to live in Manchester, but I moved to London, and these are more examples. So all of these sentences describe actions or situations in the past, which are finished now. Living in Manchester, like playing football every Saturday, hating her job, these are all finished now. So the difference between would and used to, we only use would to describe actions or situations that were repeated again and again and again, but we use used to for any extended actions or situation in the past, okay? So, did you get this rule? The slide hasn't changed. Oh. What slide do you see right now? Jihan? What slide do you see at 23? I'm on 28. Okay, just I will stop sharing and I will re-sharing again. Okay, what about now, Jihan? Yes? Okay, so I was explaining used to. Okay. Do you want me to repeat it or you get the rule? I got it. Okay. So we move. So we have finished Unit 2. We will start with Unit 3. Okay. I want to give you like 5 minutes break. Okay. We will come back at 5:35. Okay. Just 5 minutes break. Just go drink water, like whatever you want. We will come back at 5:35. Okay, Jihan? Okay. Can you hear my voice? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So now we will start with Unit 3. Okay, and basically start with this rule, countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, here's a list of the things that you can count and the things that you cannot count. Okay, like you can count banana, eggs, olive, rice, burger, hot dog, carrots, apple, tomatoes, watermelon, but you cannot count milk, salt, sugar, jam, rice, honey. These things you cannot count. Okay? So, for countable and uncountable nouns, what is the most important things, okay, to know? Like the first one that you can make sure and know this thing you can count, the second thing you cannot count, okay? Second, can take singular or plural verbs, okay? So for countable nouns, the things that we can count, okay, take singular or plural verbs, like there is a book on the table, okay? Second example, those houses are very big, aren't they? So for house, for book, okay, we can make the verb singular or verbs according to the subject, sorry, for the noun. But for uncountable nouns, we always take singular verbs, like there is some water in that pitcher, okay? So, most important, the verb, singular or plural. For countable, can we use it both according to the noun, and for the uncountable, we always put the singular verbs. Okay, second thing, if we want to quantity the noun, okay, إذا إحنا نبغى نحدد كمية الشيء، okay, سواء كان countable أو uncountable nouns, okay, we use what? We use a lot of, plenty of, some, few, several, a couple of, okay, many, any, much, okay? But there's something, okay, these of quantity, we only use it for countable, okay? And there is something that we only use it for uncountable, and there's something we can use it for both countable and uncountable nouns, okay? For example, we can say we have got a lot of books and we have a lot of rice, okay? So a lot of, we can use it for both countable and uncountable. Also, we can say there are plenty of books, okay? And we can say there are plenty of rice. So plenty of, we can use it for both countable and uncountable. As well for some, we can say some books, some rice. Also for a few, we can say a few books, and we can say, for the few, we can say a little rice, okay? So a few is only for countable nouns, okay? We have got a few books. But for the uncountable nouns, we have got a little rice. So the things that we use for countable and uncountable, a lot of, plenty of, some. The thing that we only use it for countable nouns is a few, plus several, plus a couple of, plus many. Okay, the things that we only use it for uncountable, which is a little and much. Okay, so again, so we haven't got a lot of books. We haven't got a lot of rice. We can use it for both countable and uncountable. But for the countable, we only can say we haven't got many books. For the uncountable, we haven't got much rice. Okay, much is only for the uncountable and many is for the countable. Any, okay, we can use it for both. We haven't got any books and we haven't got any rice, okay? So, in the bottoms, a lot of, many, any, okay, we can use it for the negative. We haven't got, they aren't, okay? Isn't, okay, focus on the verb for the uncountable. There is, but for the countable, there are. For the countable, they aren't, but for the uncountable, there isn't. As I said before, like uncountable always takes singular verbs, okay? Also, if we want to form questions, we use any and many for the countable. And for the uncountable, we use and much. So, are there any books? Like we can say none, a couple, whatever. And for the uncountable, is there any rice? Again, we use the verb in the singular. Is there any rice? Okay? So we can say none. Is it clear for the countable and uncountable nouns? Okay? The most important thing to know, okay, the verb, we use it in the singular form or in the plural form, okay? The second thing, if we want to quantity the nouns, okay, for which of these quantities we use it for the countable and which ones we use it for the uncountable. Okay? Is it clear or not? Yes, clear, good. We move to present perfect continuous. Okay, again, another tense. So, the first thing is the form. Second thing is the uses. For the form, we have two forms, which is with the subject she, he, it, we use has plus been plus the verb ing. And for the subject I, we, you, and they talk have plus been plus the verb ing. Okay? For example, they have been learning English for 2 years. And if we want to make it negative, we just add not. And if you want to form a question, we just replace have or has with the subject. Then we move to the uses of the present perfect continuous. First use is to express long actions that started in the past and continues until now. Okay? Long actions started in the past and continue until now, still happening. Like I have been living in Ireland for almost 4 years. So from 4 years back to now, I'm living in Ireland and I'm still living in Ireland. Okay? Second, express recent actions that have clear evidence or results now. Okay? Actions that was and that have clear evidence or results right now, like her eyes are red. This is the result because she has been crying all evening. Okay, she has been crying all evening is a recent actions. Okay, and the result of this actions, her eyes are red. Okay. Number 3, typically used for shorter temporary situation. Okay, we use it for short temporary situation like have they been learning English this week? Okay, have they or not? Just a temporary situation. So this is the past perfect. Present perfect continuous. And the difference between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous is with these differences. Present perfect, okay, we use for finished actions, okay, and for present perfect continuous, we use it for unfinished actions, okay. Present perfect, use it for permanent actions, and present perfect continuous, use it for temporary actions, أشياء مؤقتة. For present perfect, we use it to emphasize on the result of the actions, okay? And for present perfect continuous, we emphasize on the duration of the action. الحدث كم صار لي. Okay? And the things that are in common or is in common between present perfect and present perfect continuous is to indicate how much or how many have been completed. Okay? Like for example, it has taken 6 years to write this book and he has been studying English for 2 months. Okay? So this is the difference between the present perfect and present perfect continuous. So, does this rule was clear? Sorry. Does this rule clear or not? The present perfect continuous. When do we use it? The difference between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. Are they clear? Is there any question? Yes, clear. Okay. So we have finished with Unit 3. Okay. Unit 4. The past continuous tense. Okay. The past continuous tense, again, form and uses. The form, we have two forms. Okay, the first one with she, he, it, and I. Okay, and I plus was. I was cooking all morning. Okay, she was cooking all morning. And with where we use it for they, you, and we. Plus the verb should be in the ing. And if you want to make it negative, you just add not. And if you want to form a question, we just replace was or where with the subject. Second thing for the uses of the past continuous. Okay, to describe like more equal actions or two actions that happening at the same time. Like while I was washing the dishes, I heard a loud noise. Okay, two actions like happening at the same times. Okay. Number two, describe what someone was doing at a particular point in time. Like I was working in the garden all day yesterday. Describe something that I was doing or someone was doing at a particular point in time. Number three, to express interrupted action in the past, okay? Something that interrupted an action, like I was driving work when I crashed my car, okay? Like the first action was driving to the work, and the second one that interrupted the main action is the crashed my car. Number four, to describe repetition and irritation, okay? He was always complaining in classes, okay? Something that happens repeatedly, okay? So he was always complaining in class. So this is the past continuous form and uses. Move to past perfect tense. Okay, past perfect tense. Again, form and uses. The form of past perfect tense, okay, we have the subject, all the subjects. I, she, he, it, they, you, we, okay? Take had plus the past participle. التصريف الثالث. And if we want to make it in the past, in the negative, sorry, we just add not. To form a question, we just replace had with the subject. Okay? Finish from the form, move to the uses of the past perfect tense. We have four uses. The first one to describe an action finished before another past action. Okay, يعني حدثين صاروا في الماضي، لكن الحدث اللي صار قبل كنا نستخدم له past perfect tense. Okay, so Richard had gone out when his wife arrived in the office. Okay, يعني شيء هو طلع بعدين زوجته جت. Okay, for past perfect tense, describe an action finished before another past action. اللي هو أقدم حدث. Number two, describe an action that happened before a specific time in the past, okay? Like, Kristen had never been to an opera before last night, okay? شنو describe an action that happened before a specific time. يعني last night, قبل last night, okay, he had never been to an opera, okay? But things that been changed from last night. Okay. Number three, to describe cause and effect combined with past simple. Like, I got stuck in traffic because there had been an accident. Okay. There's cause and there's an effect. Okay. سبب ومسبب. السبب I got stuck in the traffic. المسبب شنو because there had been an accident. Number 4, to emphasize the result of an activity in the past. Okay. نتيجة لحدث صار في الماضي. Like I have been to London twice by the time I got a job in New York. Okay. So this is the past perfect tense. So we took past continuous and the past perfect tense. Is there any question about these two rules? Is there any question about these two rules, the past continuous and the past perfect simple? No. Okay. Then we'll move into next rule. Okay. So let's see on this sentence. Sylvia saw Paul. Okay, we have Sylvia and we have Paul. Sylvia saw Paul. What is the difference when I say who saw Paul and who did Sylvia see? Okay. When we asking who saw Paul, okay, we like questions, okay, about the subject, okay, and we are saying who did Sylvia see? Okay, we are asking about the object of the sentence, which is Paul, okay? So to conclude from this sentence and from these questions, okay, the rule that we are taking right now is subject or object questions. Okay, how do we form subject questions and object question? Okay, the thing that I want you to focus and be aware of, okay, if we are asking about the object of the sentence, okay, Sylvia saw Paul, which is Paul is the object, okay. To form a questions, we add helping verb, okay, like did, because the sentence was in the past, okay, so we put the helping verb that we used in the past, did, okay. If it was in the present, we use do or does, okay. So the difference between subject and object questions. Okay. So the difference is for the object questions, okay, when you ask an object questions, you know who the person is and would like to get some information about them, okay? Like, where does Tom live? Okay. Did he go to school? Who does he live with? Is he going to work here? Okay. We always put what helping verb does, did, is. Okay, what I was saying is you put helping verb. But for the subject questions, if you don't know who has done something and would like to find out, you ask subject questions like who lives here? Who went to the school? work here. Okay, this is so who does John love? Okay, John loves Mary. So this is an object of questions. We want to ask about the object of the sentence. So we use who. Okay, according to the object, which is human, thing, place, time. Okay, reason. So we can use the WH word that suits the object. So who does? We add does, a helping verb, according to the sentence tense. John loves Mary. It's in the present simple. So we use does because Mary is a singular. If the object was a plural, we use do. Okay. So for auxiliary verb, yes, we use, okay, and word order becomes like question word who, auxiliary verb does, okay, according to the sentence and the tense. Then we have the subject, and then we have the verb. Then we have the question mark. For the subject questions, okay, who loves John? Sally loves John. Sally is the subject, okay? So if you want to form a questions, we do not use auxiliary verb, we don't use helping verb, okay? So who loves John? Word order, we have the questions word who, then we have the verb loves, and we have the rest of the sentence, okay? Is this rule was clear, Jihan? Yes, okay. We're almost finished, but there is only one rule in the book, okay, which is just give me a second. Yeah. Okay, can you see this page, Jihan? Grammar reference 4.2 time phrases. Yes. Okay. So this is the last rule of the revision, which is time of phrases. As we have the time phrases that you'll learn, okay, after, afterwards, when, while, during, as, okay, and as soon as, and by the time. The important thing that you should know about this rule is when do we put these time of phrase and what does it mean, okay? So after and afterwards to talk about one action happening after another, okay? Something happened after this particular thing, okay? So afterwards is followed by a phrase in the past simple. Afterwards is followed by a phrase in the past simple. Like, we watched a film on TV. Afterwards, we went out. Went out is a phrasal verb, okay? For a pizza. after is followed by ing or noun or phrase or the past perfect, like after cleaning, okay? After cleaning. And you just can, like, if you study the rule of the verb pattern, and you can know that after is a preposition, and after prepositions, like after it become an ing, it will become like connected to you and become easier, okay? So after cleaning the house, I went out for a walk. And after I had cleaned the house, I went out for a walk. It's in the followed with the past perfect. Okay, so this is after and afterwards. What does it mean? Talk about one action happening after another, and when do we use it? Okay, the position of the afterwards and after words followed by a phrase in the past simple, a noun or phrase on the past perfect. Then we moved to when, while, during, and as. Okay, we use them to talk about actions happening at the same time. Okay, for while is usually followed by the past continuous to talk about action that were in progress over a period of time. Okay, past continuous. Okay, actions that were in progress, like while Stephen was laying the table, Caroline was cooking the meal. For while, it's also like the one uses of the past continuous, like two actions happening in the same time. Okay, we use while. Okay, and for when and as are usually followed by the past simple. When she saw her name on the list, she shouted with joy. And as the sun went down, it became suddenly cloud. Okay, as we use it for the past simple. During is followed by a noun that describes an event or a period. Like, we had a fantastic conversation during the journey. And during the First World War, millions of men joined different armies. Okay, like after, during, we have a noun. And we have as soon as. We as soon as to something that happened as soon as time that before I come back. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 different types, and each one different use for it. Okay, and for what do we use it, and where do we use it? This was the last rule of the final material. Okay, Unit 1 till Unit 4. Okay, each rule grammar. So, is there questions about right, or you have just like some doubts about it? So just tell me or write in the chat, or everything is clear. It will be like perfect for everyone. Everything was clear. Okay then. So thank you, Jihan. You was like into the subject, and you seems to really want to get high grades in the final, so I hope you will. I hope the final exam is easy, piece of cake.